Hello students, today I am going to explain Standard 9 SS Chapter 13 India, Location, Geological Structure and Physiography Part 1. India is a land of ancient culture. Indian civilization is one of the oldest civilizations and it is the largest democracy in the world. We know that India is the second most populous country and the seventh largest country by its area. Since ancient times, people from different parts of the world had come to India and they settled here. Indian culture is such that we accepted all the tribes of people who came to our country. We know that since ancient times, people like Aryans, Huns, Persians, Turks, Mughals, Portuguese, Britishers, French, all these people came to India and they settled in our country. We know that they all came here to trade with India. But gradually they Indianized themselves and they settled here. Thus, the coordinating attitude of our culture has not discarded any religion, race, or people. We accepted all these people to our country. Hence, we know that due to mutual exchange of thoughts and ideas, Indian culture prospered, and we can say that India has become a place of cultural confluence. Now we look into this topic India, location, size, and area. We know that geographically India lies in the northern hemisphere. Here you can see the picture of globe. See, this is the equator which divides this whole world or globe into two parts. And the area above this equator is known as northern hemisphere and the area below this equator is known as southern hemisphere. And look here, where is India located? India is located in this northern hemisphere. So geographically we know that India is located in the northern hemisphere. The mainland India lies between 8 degree 4 to 37 degrees 6 north latitude and 68 degrees 7 inch to 97 degree 25 east longitude. So this is the 8 degree 4 latitude is this and 37 degrees 6 that is here. So this latitude, the land of India lies between these two latitudes 8 degree 4 and 37 degree 6. Now 68 degree 7 longitude. 68 degree 7 longitude means this is the longitude. Okay, 68 degree 7 longitude and here you can see 97 degree 25 east longitude, that is here this longitude. So this is the location of India. India is located between these latitudes and longitudes. Now, the Tropic of Cancer, 23 degree 5 north latitude passes almost through the middle of our country. So this is the Tropic of Cancer which is dividing our country into almost two equal parts. And the area above this Tropic of Cancer, so that is to be called as North India. You can see here North India is more broader. Okay, so it is extending in the east-west direction, and you also know that the Himalayan mountains which form the northern boundary of India and the northern plains, all these are located in this North India. Whereas the southern part of India has a triangular shape. You can see this peninsular India which has got a triangular shape and it tapers towards, means it becomes narrow towards the south. This part is occupied by most of the plateaus and coastal plains, Deccan Plateau, Malwa Plateau, and all these type of plateaus are located here. Also the western coastal area, eastern coastal area, all these are located in this part of India, this peninsular part of India. The length of India from north to south is about 3214 kilometers. So, north to south. The length of India from north to south is how much? 3214 kilometer. And the east-west distance, east from here, Arunachal Pradesh till Gujarat, the east-west distance is 2933 kilometer. Then, there is a difference of about 2 hours in the local times of the extreme places in the east and in the west. So, the standard time of India has been decided from the 82 degree 30 east longitude, which is at an almost equal distance from these two places. So, the standard time of India is decided based on this longitude, that is 82 degree 30 east longitude. This is considered as the standard meridian of India, and this longitude passes through almost 5 states in India, such as Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are the states through which this standard meridian of India passes. Then India has an area of about 32.8 lakh square kilometer, which is about 2.42% of the world area. Already I have told you that area wise India ranks 7th in the world. There are other 6 countries which are larger than India, and they are Russia, Canada, USA, China, Brazil and Australia. These are the 6 other countries larger than India. Thus, the land area of India is located in the south of Asia. The location of India, if we talk about that, we know that India is located in the southernmost part of Asia. The lofty mountain ranges spread over hundreds of kilometers from west to east direction that form the northern boundary of India. And the other 3 sides, you know that east, west and south is surrounded by seas. In the east, we know that Bay of Bengal is located. Then in the west direction, there is Arabian Sea, and Indian Ocean lies to the south of Peninsular India. Then if we talk about the strategic location of India, you know, the strategic location is also important. Strategically, India lies in the eastern hemisphere. If we divide this globe into 2 parts such as east and west, then India comes in the eastern hemisphere. This specific location of India, surrounded by seas on 3 sides, have contributed immensely for the development of cultural and commercial relationship with other countries. You can see here in this picture that on all 3 sides, east, west and south, India is surrounded by seas, and this particular location is very important for the development of culturally and commercially. You know, India has developed a lot due to this specific size or specific location of India. And also we know that the length of the coastline of India, that is the coastline starting from Gujarat till West Bengal, the total length of the coastline of India is 7,517 kilometer. Location of India is important internationally because most of the world trade is carried out through sea routes. The trade route of India reach West Asia, South Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia and East Africa. Besides that, even Europe, North Africa, North America also can be reached through Suez Canal, which was opened in the year 1869. With the opening of Suez Canal, you know, the distance between India and Europe was reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Then West Africa and South America also can be reached via Cape of Good Hope, and one can reach to Canada and USA through Strait of Malacca and Pacific Ocean. Now we learn about the neighbors of India. India has a common boundary with Pakistan, Afghanistan in the northwest, then with China, Nepal, Bhutan in the northeast, and with Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. You can see here in the south we have two maritime neighbors. Maritime neighbors means the countries which are located in the ocean. So the two maritime neighbors of India are Maldives and Sri Lanka. These are the two maritime neighbors of India. Then the two archipelagos of India, that is Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands. You can see here Lakshadweep. These are the Lakshadweep Islands and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, so these two archipelagos, this is a part of India. These are the part of India. Then these are located in the sea. Lakshadweep is located in the Arabian Sea and Andaman Nicobar Islands are located in the Bay of Bengal. So these are the neighbors of India. Then now we are going to learn about the geological structure of India. The geological structure of India. The crust of the earth floats on the semi-liquid rock material of asthenosphere. Due to the heat generated in the interior of the earth, the radioactive waves exert pressure towards the surface of the earth. Due to this, the crust of the earth was disintegrated into large pieces of land. These are known as lithospheric plates or tectonic plates. Thus, we know that there are 7 major tectonic plates. Okay, there are 7 major tectonic plates. They are Pacific plate, North American plate, South American plate, European plate, African plate, Indo-Australian plate and Antarctic plate. So thus altogether there are 7 tectonic plates. At some places these plates are coming closer to each other. So these are called convergent plates. Whereas the plates which are drifting away from each other, that means which are going in the opposite direction, they are known as divergent plates. So, due to this convergence and divergence of these plates over millions of years, shapes of landforms as well as their locations also have changed. Wherever these plates drift apart, they form fissures over the land and in the ocean beds. Continents situated over these plates are called a transform boundary. Now let me tell you some history about this world. Before millions of years, India was a part of a vast landform called Gondwana land. It included the present continents of South America, Africa, Arabia, India, Australia and Antarctica. In course of time, the Indo-Australian plate separated from Gondwana land and started drifting towards north, and it collided with Eurasian plate before 5 crore years. Due to the collision of these two plates, the Himalayan mountains emerged out of Tethys Sea, and with that, a large depression also came into existence to the south of Himalayas. With the passing of time, the rivers from the Himalayas brought alluvium sediments and deposited in these valleys, and thus the northern plain was formed. When Himalaya was emerging, a large volcanic eruption took place in the northwestern part of the peninsular India. Due to this explosion, its western part of the plateau broke down and submerged. This led to the formation of Arabian Sea. Thus, the Western Ghats became more distinct in this area. Now, conclusion of this chapter. A large diversity is seen in the Indian subcontinent. Lofty mountain ranges are seen in the north. Many plateaus, summits and passes are seen within them. Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra rivers flow in the northern plains. Their alluvial deposits have formed this plain. Two edges in the form of Ghats on two sides of plateau, that means Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, okay? And coastal plains on eastern and western margins are also situated here. Thus, we can conclude that India holds a diversified physiography. Hope you all understood this chapter. For better understanding, please read the textbook thoroughly. More about the physiography and geological structure will be continued in the next chapter. Thank you.